This is Nerd News Cafe. Stir it up with Matt, Landon, and Justin.
Get ready to stir it up. It is round 20, baby. Woo! You made it. It's Thursday. Get happy. Get rowdy. Get right. I am Matt.
This is Justin.
And I'm just Landon down this time.
No creativity.
Being
it's
creative is hard, everybody.
He's done.
His creative juices don't start flowing until like 10, 11 at night.
Exactly, yeah.
It's not 10 in the morning.
Yeah,
oh, no, because he pops the juices.
Beers, yeah. I have a drinking problem.
It's not a problem.
All right.
Sorry, that just triggered the Dumb and Dumber quote in my mind. Who meets at a bar at 10 in the morning? I just thought she was a raging alcoholic.
That's a great line.
That's one of my
line.
favorite.
Yeah, that's a great line.
That movie's good.
And I would argue one of the greatest comedies of all time.
Mm-hmm. Oh, my wife would agree. My wife would agree.
My wife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Her favorite is the IOUs.
Oh, yeah.
It's as good as money.
It's as good as money.
And we're good for every one of them.
So good. So, round 20, we've got kind of a big deal here. Not really.
Wait a second.
We're going to talk some comics. We've got some events coming up, and we've got a semi-debate.
And we're going to talk a little games.
Oh, yeah, I forgot games. God, we were just talking about it. I thought we were done.
We already did it, but
we
it was
already did
offline.
it. Sorry, guys.
Man,
Sorry.
you should have heard the show we had before we
Oh,
started.
my gosh.
Recording. It was amazing.
It was
the
great.
Beatles
So
were here,
huge.
too. I
Instant
didn't even know they were
classic.
still alive.
Instant classic.
So huge. We had so many people here. We were doing a great job.
Yeah. Michael Clark Duncan showed up and weighed in on a few things.
And then he got ghostbusted because he's not here.
James Gandolfini, too. It's like, dude.
Oh, my gosh. It was a rolling cast of supernatural activity in here.
You know your favorite dead celebrity? They were here
They
as
were
well.
all here.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I'm tired, boss.
The Big Bopper closed out the show with a set.
Wow.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah. It was a kind of a down in flames kind of show.
Oh.
Too soon?
God.
Too soon.
Whoa.
Really? Whoa.
I mean,
Doing your own
I
Foley
think we
work
can
over
get
there.
away with all the Big Bopper jokes we want, just to let you know.
Sorry, I'm holding the mic in my hand. I thought I'd
know.
try something.
Well, you know what the sad thing is? It's kind of skinny, so I feel like you're kind of Bob Barkering it
am.
over there.
It's time to play Plinko.
Oh, yes, I love Plinko. Yeah.
$1.
Always that one guy.
And everybody gives those people the worst looks.
It's the biggest move, but it's the smartest thing you
It
can
is.
do if you're the last person
But here's
to
the
bid.
thing: can't you do 50 cents?
No.
It has to be a whole dollar.
It has to be a whole dollar.
I would
Unless-
still say 50
unless you're
cents and let
50
them tell me different. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, Fitty could probably get away with
The,
it.
50.
the funniest thing is when it's like the third person to bid does $1. It's like, really? You didn't know there was a person coming after you that can say $2?
$2, I know. I would just be a jerk and say 5. Just to be like, hey, I'm that far much away.
Yeah,
from
there you go.
Yeah.
If it's between 1 and 5,
You got
win.
it, buddy.
You got it, bud. I'm willing to bet that cutlery set's not going to fall in that, though. They still give away garbage at the first two. It's like, do I have to take any of that I just bid on?
Yeah, I really don't want any of that stuff.
Yeah, that scooter and helmet set looks so awesome. It would look even better on eBay.
Oh, I'd straight up take a Vespa.
A Vespa. I've seen a lot of those here, really. Well, I feel like we've had enough Vespa talk, so
That is
You
our
wanna-
next coming podcast.
I don't know how I'm going to transition this to comics other than chimichangas and Vespas are Deadpool's best friend. So what do we got in comics?
Let's get to Comic Book Corner. This week, so I told you last week, Richard told me it was a light week. This week it truly was. I didn't pick up a ton of stuff, so it's going to be easy for me to kind of get through this. A new Hulk did come out. I didn't get it, but it's on order. It will be on the way. Apparently, it's not that popular from what Richard was telling me. So, which is disappointing because
Maybe everybody's tired of waiting for her to Hulk out.
maybe
I can't do 5 more issues of her just thinking about it.
tired of the tease.
Yeah, that's exactly it. They paid their money. They're ready to leave the club.
It's almost like they got green book. No, moving on.
Ooh, that's interesting. Because that would make me feel like they were like enlarged and bulbous. That sounds like a painful situation.
Yeah, that's definitely something you want to go to your doctor
The
about.
Hulk balls.
Hulk balls. I got Hulk balls.
Hashtag Hulk ball.
Yes!
Hulk balls.
Add it to the list. Krogan boner and Hulk balls.
Yep.
That's a
That
good
is just
combination.
a terrifying combination.
Yeah,
right
it
there.
is.
That is something you don't want to get near.
Oh God.
You want to talk
good night,
about
folks.
ladies running and screaming from the room?
That's a urologist nightmare.
Krogan boner and Hulk balls. What did I do wrong? Anyway, sorry.
First guessed a lot.
So last week, I talked about things that were a little bit off the beaten path. This week, we're going to get back to some mainstream stuff, but it is Jeff Lemire. I'm a big fan of Jeff Lemire. I want to talk about Thanos #7. So I've been following this story. I haven't gotten really in depth with everything going on, except for I know with the first couple, I was kind of describing the team and talking about the Blue Blanca and all that stuff.
Yeah, Akira.
Yeah, there's some really cool characters in this particular book. But let me just tell you, this one, I think we're getting to kind of a climax of the story here, because the big setup is that Thanos has been dying, but man, he's in spots been able to do some pretty amazing, powerful things, and we've seen him lay waste to armies. We've seen him punch a tank directly in the face.
In the face.
Doing
Yeah.
Thanos things.
Thanos doing Thanos things, and yeah, it was pretty awesome. I don't want to get too detailed, because I want to encourage people to give this one a shot. I know, Landon, you read through the first 4 or 5.
Yeah, I went through 4.
It wasn't your hashtag jams.
No, but like I said, I can definitely see why people like it. And you made reference to the art. I mean, the art style in that book is just gorgeous.
It is. It's really nice to look at. But and she has a great personality. But I feel like it was all kind of leading up to this one so far. And in this one, the big running theme is that Thanos, I mean, he's back on his planet, but he's been destroyed. And at this point, he is like essentially it's like he's on his deathbed, but he's like in rags. He's covered in rags. He's like losing all of his bulk. He's living off of rodents and stuff that he finds, and people are treating him like garbage. He's like, "Don't you know who I am?" And they're like, "Yeah, okay, you're Thanos, whatever," because he can't do it, and people are beating the crap out of him.
He's trying to get in the club, and they're just like, "No, you get in line like everybody else." You know?
Like he kind of wanders into a bad part of town, and some thugs just kick the crap out of him, and he can't do anything about it, which
That's
is
amazing.
not Thanos doing Thanos things.
I'm sure he's writing down these names.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's probably going to be a reckoning coming at some
yeah.
point.
Oh yeah, he's going to be making a list and checking it twice for
They
sure.
don't call him the Mad Titan just for giggles.
That's right.
Yeah. So what's pretty cool about this one is at the end of it, the original group that was actually forming up Star Fox. That's his name, right?
Starhawk.
Starhawk.
Yeah.
Star Fox, I'm going down.
Yeah.
Where's Leapy or whatever that stupid
Flippy.
God, I wish that guy would have died.
But Blue Blanca and then also Nebula, they actually show up and they're like, can't believe we're going to say this, but Thanos, we need you to help save the universe. Because at this point, Thanos' son has absorbed that Phoenix power from that egg that he found, and I guess he is out of control. And
Laying
so,
waste.
yeah, he's laying. We don't see it happening here, but that's just the assumption that you make, that he's like laying waste to the universe. So the original crew that was getting together to take Thanos down is now there trying to save him and get him to help them take his son out. So
That's kind of crazy, just you telling how that comic ends with them asking Thanos to help save the universe. Give kind of a tease to Secret Empire 3. They make reference, well, maybe Galactus can come and help us. So we're in Marvel comic universe where Thanos and Galactus are reliable people for help.
Oh, gosh.
What is going on?
well, it's these, and it even calls it, like, the next one's going to be called Unholy Alliance. So whatever they do, if they can somehow help Thanos to get his power back, you could see him helping them to take down, the threat to the universe, but then he's going to take his seat at the throne once all this is said and done.
Oh, he's definitely going to pin that badge on his lapel there and go, "Do you remember what I just did for everyone? I need some tribute."
Well, especially
you can't change who he is.
Yeah, and Thanos and Infinity Gauntlets, there is one point towards the end of that story where they do need Thanos' help, but then Thanos tries to seize that power back. So
Of course he does.
He's Thanos.
He's not stupid. It's like, oh yeah, I'll hold a gun. Down.
Thanos be Thanos.
You beat Thanos.
So that one's good, and I'm excited to see now where that one's going to go. This particular comic, it was dark. It's tough, even though you know how bad Thanos is and all the stuff he's done. It's kind of tough watching him kind of waste away. There's like this one part where he kills like this. It's like a rodent queen. It's huge, and it kind of shows. It kind of shows him like living off that carcass for months.
Whoa.
Yeah, and like just laying in one spot. It shows like weather changing, and then like of course he's eating a rotten corpse, so it makes him sick. It's crazy.
Wow.
Pretty intense.
Did he bantha it and get inside for warmth?
He didn't get inside of it.
And
no.
I thought they smelled bad on the outside.
They could have totally done that, but they didn't
Been a
take
good
advantage
joke.
of the opportunity. All right, so moving on. Last week we had a crossover. We talked about Banana Splits and Suicide Squad.
What a time to be alive.
I wanted to keep that up this week because I remember when we were talking about these that this was another one I wanted to pick up. So this week we have Green Lantern teaming up with Space Ghost.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, that is my jams right there.
Yeah, and this one's pretty good. It's not nearly there's no real attempt at trying to be funny and silly like there was with the Suicide Squad Banana Splits. That one was all tongue in cheek like the whole time.
Well, of course.
This one is a pretty serious story. There's a distress call coming from some parallel dimension off all the charts. Green Lantern shows up. Of course, who does he run into first is Space Ghost, and he's fighting Zorak.
Nice.
Yeah. When he shows
I
up.
want some gum.
Yeah. So what does Green Lantern do? Hal Jordan, he of course makes a giant fly swatter and starts swatting all the mantises that are flying around.
It's a little too on the nose there, Lantern.
Yeah. So there's some funny stuff, of course, but the overall story in this book is really a little more heavy because it's about a planet where the government somehow they've made it to where there are no stars in the sky except for their sun, and they're telling them that they are the only thing in existence. There's nothing out there, no stars, no other living things. Space Ghost and Lantern show up and they're like, demons, they must be demons, and the people are kind of freaking out. But there's this one man who's been, he knows there's something up, and he's been trying to build what he calls a weapon, but it's actually a craft to get up into space and get evidence that there's something else out there and bring it back to show the people that the government's been pulling the wool over their eyes. So that's kind of the story, and it's pretty interesting because of course they show up. When they show up on this planet, everybody's trying to take them down, Green Lantern and Space Ghost. But then there's just one guy who knows. He's like, oh, I always believed there was something, and you can help me prove it. So then it becomes we need to somehow free this planet. A little bit indicative of political climate.
I was going to go there. I was going to say, so you're saying there's a leader that
who's
has a
trying
travel
to be
ban.
isolation.
Yeah. And the scientific community says something's happening, but
And they say
no.
Yeah.
They almost called alternative facts.
Alternative facts.
Seriously, it actually says in the book, it's like, isolationism, it kind of addresses it. Like that's what the government wants for this planet, and that's not what's good for the people. So it's you could kind of take it as a little bit of a political satire. Yeah.
Dear.
But I'll tell you, it's cool. At one point, another fun aspect of this comic, Green Lantern and Space Ghost end up trading equipment. So Space Ghost is using the ring for a minute, and Lantern has the bracers, and Space Ghost learns that it kind of hurts a little bit to use the Green Lantern power. It burns the arm up pretty bad, and so. But he gets a taste for it, and he's like,
the nostrils.
It does.
It's a formidable scent.
But he does say he's like when they meet up again, he's like, I'm going to get me one of those rings. So
Actually, I have a teaser for issue 2. They're going to start a late night talk show together.
Oh my god! And as soon as you said that was the first Space Ghost I thought of.
And I was going
coast.
to ask, is it coast to coast or is it like old school Space Ghost? But it sounds like it's old school,
it's old school,
serious
yeah.
Space Ghost.
It is. He's very serious. He is kind of humorless. He's very serious, and he's all about like I am here to protect innocent people and eliminate evil.
So
and
definitely not coast to coast.
it's not coast to coast Space Ghost. No.
He's got a cape in space, which makes me just laugh.
Hal Jordan is the only comedy that you get in. He's trying to make some jokes, and of course he makes funny things with his ring. There is a moment at the end where they've basically got an army of mechs, that they're surrounded by this army of mechs and heavy artillery, and Green Lantern is like, I've got to make something that's going to just scare these people off and give us some time. So what does he do? He makes a monstrosity of a Batman.
That's
What?
funny.
That scares all the people off for a minute. It's like this huge visage of a Batman. Yeah, I like that. That was pretty
That's
good.
pretty funny.
Yeah, so that was cool. So anyway, lastly, I just want to talk really quickly about Monsters Unleashed, and the reason I want to talk about this one, it's new. Issue 2 just came out recently. I've got 1 and 2 here with me. I haven't read 2 yet, but I did read 1. And I didn't really know much about what this story was going into it, but apparently this kid, Kai, has the ability to, when he doodles monsters, they come
I
into
think
existence.
you mentioned this once before.
So
One of you did.
They call him Kid Kaiju, actually. And so basically, S.H.I.E.L.D. kind of keeps their eyes on him, and they're like, look, your powers are ridiculous, and you don't need to be getting involved when somebody's like robbing a bank or because he's going to destroy a city, right? So basically, we'll call you in when we need you. And I guess there was like an attack of Leviathans that he and his kaijus like helped attack, and they took out what they thought was like the leader. And so there's kind of a backstory going on here where it sounds like basically what there's some villains that pop out throughout the issue, and it's like they're trying to pull Kid Kaiju into it because they're trying to get a read on what monsters he has access to and what they can do. So they're trying to test him out a little bit. So it's pretty interesting. I like I said, I had no background on this at all going into it. As I was reading it, I was just thinking about our old pal Landon, because I was thinking, if anybody likes a good monster versus monster story, I know it's Landon.
Yeah,
And
holler at your boy over here.
So his power is that he doodles a monster and it comes.
he can it either summons it, if it's something real, it summons it to him, or he actually can create monsters. Yeah.
So how does he establish the monster's powers?
I don't know if that's something like
They don't
that.
explore it in the. I mean, I'm sure, they're not going to give all the first issue. I'm sure, but
Yeah.
it just that's so interesting. Like it's got my mind reeling. It's like, wow, well, how would you if you drew a I don't know, a monster and you showed lightning coming from its hands? Would it have lightning because you drew it, or
Yeah.
does he have to have a specific notebook to doodle in? Can he draw on a wall? Is he a graffiti artist?
Well, and it's
All
like,
of these are great questions.
and I imagine they haven't been answered, but it's like,
Oh, no.
I remember seeing the Splash poster for this upcoming story arc, and it's just like Marvel superheroes fighting monsters, and I'm like, this has me written all over it. So
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
very interested to see
You're down.
see what where this story goes.
Yeah.
'Cause, I mean, even the concept of Kid Kaiju, I mean, that just sounds cool.
Yeah.
At the end of it, we see the bad guys that he's going to be facing up against here are MODOK 2.0, Mr. Sinister, the Leader, and the Mad Thinker.
Shoo,
Mr. Sinister alone is insane.
and don't sleep on MODOK either.
yeah, true.
MODOK 2.0.
Oh, 2.0.
Upgraded. He's got USB ports.
He just got an OTA.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's definitely something I'm going to have to borrow from your library
Sure.
at some point.
Yeah, and this one is written by Cullen Bunn. Its artist is David Baldian, and color artist Marcio Miniz? Sorry. I struggle with names that sound foreign.
Yeah,
In case you couldn't identify what that sound is, that was a butcher knife as he
Minions.
tried to get these names out.
Yeah. So anyway,
I'm terrible at names. That's
It's
why I never
cool.
read them.
it's cool. I would recommend, if that's something that if
Cover
you're
looks cool.
interested in like big monster fighting and stuff, I think you should check that one out. So there you go. Those are my recommendations this week. And I know, Landon, you picked up Secret Empire #3.
yes, the Secret Empire keeps chugging along. Issue 3 dropped this week. I really like where the story is going. I didn't have one of those like make my skin crawl moments like I've had in the previous issues where like it just quote felt wrong. This focuses more on the heroes that are caught outside of Earth, because in Secret Empire 0, it starts with a huge space battle, like Captain Marvel and the Guardians. They're fighting off a Chitauri invasion, and Captain America, before it's revealed he's Hydra, he's like, we got to get this shield up to protect the Earth. It'll keep them out, and so we'll be safe. So
Yeah.
they get the shield up. Cap does his heel turn, goes bad guy. So what's inside the Earth can't get out, and what's outside of the Earth can't get in.
Right.
So that strands like Captain Marvel, like I said, some of the Guardians.
Mm-hmm.
So this issue focuses more on them, at least in the
Okay.
opening part. The comic opens with Peter Quill, Rocket Raccoon, and Baby Groot go before, I guess it's like some space council. I saw a Shi'ar, I saw a Chitauri, I saw a Brood Queen, like, hey, we're from the planet Earth and we're under attack from one of our own, Captain America. You guys know us. And like, yes, we know of the planet Earth. And you say all of Earth is contained and there's only a few of you left in space, correct? And Peter Quill goes, yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it. And then they open fire on the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Man.
Well, of course they do.
Yeah, they're trying to eradicate Earth. They even said it's like, hail, what was the name of that thing? Hydra. Yeah, hail Hydra. So even the Space Council is getting on that. There is no help coming for the people trapped in space. Shift back to the planet Earth. Part of the underground resistance is kind of split off into two factions. There's the underground, which they still refer to themselves. Then there's the Red Room of the underground. And the Red Room believes the only way that this is going to stop is if Captain America is dead. So the Red Room is moving to kill Captain America. Not save him, kill him. So the leader of the Red Room, I'm not going to give it away, sets up a meeting with a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent or a former S.H.I.E.L.D. agent trying to get some help, trying to find how they can do this. So the issue ends, somebody shows up with who set this meeting up. It was Matt Gargan, former, you might recognize him as the Scorpion. He's not being the Scorpion right now. He's just being like the fence guy. He's setting up meetings. So somebody shows up and tells Gargan, it's like, these two people met and I want to find out what they talked about. It's like, hey, I'm not telling you anything, man. It's like, and the way it's drawn in the comic, it's like you can't see the attacker, you can't see the assailant, and Gargan even looks up with this guy stepping on his face. It's like, I can't even see you. Who are you? And I'm not gonna give away who it is because it's a big reveal, or it's a big like, oh my God moment at the end. But I'm gonna tell you what the last sentence in issue 3 is, and you might be able to figure it out. I could be your punishment, Hail Hydra. And I'm gonna leave it at that.
Interesting.
Wow.
Yeah, things are happening in Secret Empire. I'm definitely going to stay on board through this comic. And again, I feel like every time I talk about this, I understand why some people might not necessarily like reading this comic right now, but I'm hooked.
Yeah.
Like, I'm very interested to see where this story ends up going.
I see it. I get it. It's exploring an area that maybe, like you said, makes you feel uncomfortable, but it's kind of one of those things. It's like, what if these things happened, and let's think it through. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All red.
Yeah, I'm showing the guys that last panel, and
Wow.
There's actually a callback, or actually a reference that I thought Matt would really like. Let me pull it up here real quick. All right, so they're training almost in like a danger room type thing for the X-Men, and they failed again. So one of them says, "You've got to be kidding me! We lost again? Seriously, this is some Kobayashi Maru right here."
Nice.
And another character goes, "Yeah, how did Chris Pine beat that thing?" And one of the other character goes, "Chris Pine?"
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I
Nice.
thought you would really like that panel.
Nice.
Yeah, check it out. Secret Empire keeps chugging along. I think at this point it's a every other week release, so it's moving a little fast, but at the same time, I'm fine with it moving fast because I honestly don't know if I could wait 3 weeks in between each issue to get that next oh my God moment.
Yeah.
So, check it out. I like it.
Very good.
Cool.
I guess that'll, for today anyway, wrap it up for our comic book corner. I put a little more of the game show host
my
on that one.
gosh.
You really like your effects,
He
man.
loves that. I mean, do you see how delighted he was over there going for the board? He's
Yeah,
like,
just as he ran it up, you could see that glint in his eye sparkle.
It's fun. Maybe I have a little bit of a morning zoo host in me somewhere.
Hey, watch out for the 140 overpass.
Where's my slide whistle? when
Yeah,
I
I
need
need a cowbell.
it? Air horn.
I guess I really can't make fun of that too much.
Oh, man. All right. I said last week that we needed to revisit our events calendar, and I think it's time to do it because we are getting into the convention season, as it were. Now that we're in June, the big ones are upon us, and I don't mean Hulk balls.
They are mean and green, though, I would imagine.
Yeah. Coming up June 13th through the 15th, E3, Los Angeles, California.
Very excited
We will
for that
be
one.
live on. Oh, sorry, no, we will not. But we will be streaming live on YouTube.
If somebody wants to sponsor us going there live,
We
we
ain't
are open.
We ain't got those hammock checks yet.
When are the hammock checks coming in?
I don't know.
We'll go sit in hammocks at E3.
Absolutely, I will.
Come
I
on,
will-
Hammock District, make this happen.
You know you want it. Oh, hashtag E3 hammocks.
You guys aware of any really big things we're waiting on at E3?
Oh, Ubisoft is about to drop the bomb of everything they're doing. So
I'm pulling up some stuff.
Sony. I know Sony's going to have some announcements there.
I think Microsoft's supposed to some more Scorpion talk.
Yeah, I was
kinda
going to say,
stuff.
aren't they going to drop like some actual hardcore stats on Scorpio, or at least I'd imagine so.
Yeah, hopefully we'll get a lot more of what they hope to accomplish with it. So
Okay, so that'll be cool. I know, Landon, you're pulling up some facts there.
I'm interested to see if like we're going to get any more Switch games announced for this year. Obviously, we have Mario Odyssey coming at the end of the year, but I mean, it seems like ARMS is getting ready to come out, Splatoon 2 is getting ready to come out, and then seems like the next game you're waiting on is Odyssey, which I mean that's coming in December. Are we going to get something in the meantime?
Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, well, they're going to give us another Street Fighter 2. I'm also curious, are we going to get any news on like a Smash Bros game coming?
Ooh, you know, that is a huge deal right now. People want Smash Brothers so bad. They want something, you know, whether it be a port over to satisfy the audiences right now from what you had or something new, you know.
And I think that's what we're going to get. I think it's going to follow the same path that Mario Kart did. It's going to be kind of like a remastered and deluxe edition. It's going to include all the DLC characters that were released after Smash Bros. Came out. It'll all be loaded on that disc. I think that's what we're going to get.
Sounds like it might be a good time for a Smash Brothers anthology where they go back and they grab that first one and they just bring everything in.
If Nintendo could pull that off, I mean, that is a game that if they just kept supporting it would print money as long as Nintendo was going. I mean, even the old school, like I think GameCube Smash Bros. I think that still goes for like $60, $80,
it
like
does.
used. So I'm curious about that. I'm curious if we're going to hear anything on Kingdom or the new Kingdom Hearts game. If we hear anything, it'll probably be it's been delayed again.
Do you think it seems like Kingdom Hearts was really trying to amp up their visuals on their games and stuff like that? Do you feel like this system can support something better than what they already have?
I think based on what we
I don't
saw
know what the last
with,
release was.
I think basically what we saw with Breath of the Wild, that proves to me that it's got some power behind it to up the visuals for
I know
Kingdom
it's only
Hearts. 'Cause
720 and-
Kingdom Hearts, though, is one that's been really cartoony. In
It
the
is.
past.
It is.
And I know a lot of people are really excited about it, but it's like, have y'all played the original Kingdom Hearts or Kingdom Hearts 2 recently?
No, I haven't played it recently.
They
I
do
remember
not.
playing
They
it.
do not age well, gameplay wise, graphic wise, even story. I mean, it's like it's like for Disney dorks like you and I, Jay. It's like we're gonna like hanging out with Tarzan and going to Aladdin World and stuff like that. But it's like gameplay does not hold up. So I'm curious to see. Obviously, I think they would have to refresh the gameplay for current generations. Honestly, I think it'd more go for that Final Fantasy 15 gameplay, which kind of worked for me, kind of didn't work for me. I'm interested on that, and it's like we made reference to it earlier, Destiny 2.
Yep,
Yeah,
that's right.
absolutely. We're going to finally get some more. I think there is a gameplay or a little bit of gameplay in the trailer, but I think we're actually going to see some serious gameplay. They've been releasing more and more details about Destiny 2 as far as like guns, how they're changing the classes. I read this, and I don't know if you guys have read anything on Destiny 2, but supposedly, your loadouts used to be your primary, your secondary, and then like your big gun. From if I read it right, I don't think those are going to hold true anymore. I think they're going to let you mix and match your gun loadouts for true, a true custom loadout. So it's like if you're a guy that just wants all rocket launchers and you go to war like that, then that's what you do, and so.
Okay.
And as a Mass Effect fan, I'm also curious if there's going to be any acknowledgement to Mass Effect Andromeda, if there's going to be an announcement for DLC, because I mean the story was set up to have DLC like every other Mass Effect story up until this point. But I mean, if you remember a few weeks ago, there was the story that Mass Effect had quote been put on ice by EA and the team that made Andromeda is being sent to work on other stuff. So as a Mass Effect fans, like I'm curious if it's going to be acknowledged positively. I do think they'll mention, and we released Mass Effect Andromeda early this year in quarter one of the fiscal year. It's like we'll get that mentioned, but past that, I don't know if we're going to hear anything.
Yeah, for your sake, I hope that they just drop a bomb and say, "Hey, got 2 DLCs coming this year," and whatever they may be. But that's kind of a segue into Battlefront 2, which is probably going to blow up quite a bit at E3.
Yeah, I would imagine we're going to be
because anytime we can stick Star Wars in any kind of event, they're going to, and they're going to put the support behind it too, which we'll get to see. Maybe more on this campaign that's coming, more on the loadouts, how it works, maybe some gameplay, so that'll be cool.
I'm curious to see which of the publishers is going to have the Battlefront 2 announcement, because Sony has their own, Microsoft has their own, Nintendo has their own, Ubisoft, EA, every big name in the game industry is coming to do their own presentation. I kind of feel like PlayStation, or didn't Sony have the initial Battlefront announcement? And there was like some timed exclusivity on content. So I kind of feel like Sony's going to end up being the one to pull back the veil on that one.
EA has their own. I mean, everybody has their own expo. Ubisoft, EA. I want to say Activision.
Activision
has their own, separate from your console release people. So they'll probably have their own little symposium kind of thing with it. And then I just wanted to use that word. It sounded
nice.
fun.
I just enjoyed it.
Fun, yeah.
Look at us using grown-up words.
Symposium. I should have used it in that voice.
Quite.
But they have their own releases. But I think, if I remember E3 last year, it'll be more on what those consoles can offer each game and the exclusivity of what you get with the PS4, what you get with, the probably the Scorpio is going to have like a serious thing for it, I would imagine, if that's one of their games they're going to push. I heard rumors, though, talking on Sony, that you may get a PS5 or a talk, or at least a talking point. That's what I've heard.
Really, that'd be a big surprise.
Have they
they put a lot of support in it right now.
Well, I know they just did the PS Pro.
The PS Pro, which I've heard is a really great unit.
but it's not. It doesn't reach the Scorpio tech specs.
And I don't get me wrong. I think they're doing a great job with the Scorpio, but I will say it again. I hope that it is made for an exclusivity type of user, because I don't want to buy another Xbox. I don't want to do it.
It feels, as I'm kind of thinking about the PS Pro and the Scorpio, it feels like how I feel about these games that they put out half baked. It's like, well, you gave me a system, a brand new console, and now you're telling me, oh, if I paid the same or a little bit, even more than I paid for this system, I get the same one a little bit better. That's going to play. I don't know. It's frustrating to me. I don't need a PS4 2.0.
No,
I don't need an Xbox One 2.0.
But I think we said it, and I've read it a lot, is that I think this is an experimentation with your next gen of consoles, because this Scorpio will probably be the Xbox 2 or whatever they want to call it, and then your PS4 Pro is probably where they're going with the PS5. So I don't know. I'm like you. I don't want to rebuy consoles. I get tired of it. And if you want to know why people PC game, that's exactly why they PC game, because your PC is so modularized. It's like, oh, my graphics card's not cutting it. Let me just switch that out. And I feel like consoles probably needs to go the same route in some form or fashion.
Well, I mean, especially in this current generation, I mean, the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4, they're practically gaming PCs.
Absolutely.
Just inside of console boxes. But at the same time, I don't think Sony or Microsoft will ever do that, because then you open it up to where it's like, well, I mean, I could just upgrade my graphics card instead of dropping the $500 on the PS Pro or the Scorpio. And it's like, I want to echo what Matt said. It's like, this really feels like Sony and Microsoft are putting out like a stopgap in between the PS4 to the PS5. It's like, obviously the PS5 isn't ready yet, but we still want people to drop those console price points, so we're going to give them a new fancy console.
I'll be interested to see what the demand is for those.
And the other rumor I heard with the PS5, and this is totally rumors, I'll have to find the reference so I can put it up on our likes, but it was something to the effect that Sony may be pushing for a fully optimized cloud system. So, and you know, the hard drive systems you guys have right now, that would not be an issue because you wouldn't own the game at all. It would be cloud server style, kind of like your MMOs are already now. So without internet, which, you know, they just teased Microsoft, was it 3 E3s ago? Or 2 E3s ago? I want to say 3.
A while back.
Yeah, they
was a
said,
minute ago.
you're going to make people be on the internet the whole time? You're so stupid, you know, blah, blah, blah. And really shamed Microsoft for it. And then the rumor is with this PS5 is that's where it's going. There will be no discs. And it's what it is they want to cut that used market.
Well, I mean, they started to do a little bit with PlayStation 3, but they didn't have the infrastructure or the hard drive space.
And they've been putting some money into PSN right now.
And PSN, the PlayStation 4, I mean, there's definitely deals where it's like, I mean, from a financial standpoint, it's like, yeah, I like to own that physical disc and that case so you can put it on your bookshelf. But I mean, it's like, financially, it's like if I can get like 30% off on a digital copy that takes up zero space in my room.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm not against it.
And I got the hard drive space. There's
if you have the hard drive space, right?
Yeah, and I'm not against it. It's just, I don't know. There's something about that makes you that's not a true ownership of it. You know, it's like owning a car versus taking a taxi. Mm-hmm. You're getting the same ride, but
and it's like technically you own the game, but what if their servers go down?
Bingo.
Yeah,
or what if you lose your unit? I mean, it gets stolen or craps out on you or anything. That stuff's gone.
Yeah.
I mean, I would imagine, especially if they're going to go away like strictly disc, you could probably like sync up your saves or your purchases or something on a new system. But I mean, like, yeah, you'd have to go through that whole process of like pretty much reinstalling everything.
You know, economic hits hard. You don't have the PSN money.
Yeah.
Do you lose your games?
Well, I mean, PlayStation Plus, they say it's like, yeah, every month you get free games, but you only get those free games as long as you are an active subscriber.
Twice,
Same with games with gold.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So hopefully some of these questions we threw out there and some of the things we're looking for, we'll get to see some of that at E3, June 13th through the 15th.
All will be revealed.
Right.
And can I also get an honest to God, yes, this is actually when it's coming out release date for South Park, The Fractured Butthole. That
Man, you talk about delays.
Seriously, it's like, I get it. Matt and Trey are geniuses in our time, so give these guys team or all the time they want. Take the time, make it right. But I mean, that's what they did with the Stick of Truth, and that game turned out to be amazing. But at the same time, I really want to play The Fractured Butthole. So come on, just
he wants to play with someone's fractured butthole.
Exactly, and it's also a fun name to say out loud. But I think it got pushed back to like October 17th or something. But at the same time, that's one of those I'll believe it when I see it.
Oh yeah.
All right. Coming up right on the heels of E3, June 16th through the 18th is the Wizard World Comic Con in Sacramento. Mm-hmm. The next one will be July 14th through the 16th, Wizard World Comic Con in Albuquerque, New Mexico. And then a big one, July 14th through the 16th, D23 Expo in Anaheim. That's the Disney conference, and that's where they unveil things about parks, things about movies. I was actually thinking when you guys were talking about Battlefront, the big Battlefront announcements might be coming at D23.
Yeah, that's a possibility.
Yeah. And then July 20th through the 23rd, San Diego Comic Con. So
San Diego.
Yeah, which of course is German for.
The whales. Wait, no. Are there any big announcements we're expecting or excited for coming out of Comic Con? Obviously, we have time between now and then, but
I want to say there's a lot of TV stuff probably going to happen. I don't know why I feel that way, but I feel like AMC's got some stuff rolling out, and then I want to say there was another one. I know there'll probably be some Marvel stuff in there with the new X-Men show and or the X-Men offshoot. I'm trying to think there was one more. I don't know. Maybe Netflix will drop some stuff.
Yeah, possibly.
But like I said, I want to say it's all TV. I don't know that they would focus on games with E3 being that close. And then movies, I mean, we practically know what we're looking at.
Yeah, see, that's where I was going because Marvel in DC, but especially Marvel, they have their Phase 4 and Phase 5 so well planned out.
We're ramping. So.
And, I mean, they don't hide this either.
Right.
So, I mean, it's very readily available on the internet. So, I'm curious.
Will there be major announcements at Comic-Con? Who knows?
I mean,
I'm sure there will be.
I assume there's going to be.
There's going to be something. Throw a bone to Matt, August 2nd through the 6th, the official Star Trek convention, Las Vegas, Nevada. And then, of course, September 1st through the 4th, Dragon Con in Atlanta, Georgia.
Yeah, we are hoping finances will let me attend this year, but it is up in the air.
It's a longer drive. Well, no, I guess it's about the same, isn't it?
It's a little bit longer, but it's not a bad drive. I made it when I lived in Murfreesboro.
Oh, that's
couple
true.
Times,
That's
so
true. That's
not a
true.
bad drive.
Forgot you had already been in that district.
You're willing to make the trek.
Yes, indeed.
So
Not to Vegas though. Actually, that's a lie.
I'll
go
be
to
there
Vegas anytime.
in spirit.
oh man. All right, so that's the look at the calendar. A lot of big things coming up. We're getting into the good part of the year, and I'm sure we'll get a lot of interesting things to talk about as each one of these conventions.
We do get some local stuff
play out.
coming up, but I don't think it's this month. We'll talk about it next month.
Yeah, we'll get into that when it gets closer. So that'll wrap that up. Landon, we were going to talk a little bit of gaming before we get into the debate. You wanted to talk some Elder Scrolls?
Yeah, my girlfriend just got back into Elder Scrolls Online. We play it on the PlayStation 4, or rather, we did play it like way back in the day when it first came out on consoles. And humble brag, I played it on the PC when there was a monthly service subscription, and I got the collector's edition with the crazy big Moloch Ball statue. So I got that going for me, which totally got me laid in college. I just want to point out.
what I was gonna
he was all about it.
I was knee deep in ladies. But we're back into ESO. The girlfriend is really looking forward to the expansion coming out. It's dropped by the time this episode is out, the Morrowind expansion, which, I mean, if you're an Elder Scrolls fan, Morrowind should immediately throw exclamation points above your head, because, I mean, Oblivion was just an amazing game. And
People still talk. I think people still play it.
yeah, I have friends on Steam that
Yeah.
I'll still be like, blah, blah, blah is playing Elder Scrolls Morrowind. It's like, oh, all right, cool. And it's like, it's one of those games, everybody loves Skyrim, but it's like, I've seen a lot of people after they've gotten their Skyrim fill, they go back. So
Back to Morrowind.
Yeah, and supposedly there's like a whole bunch of stuff that people haven't found in a lot of those games. From what I understand, Skyrim, I did see specifically had tons of Easter eggs that people are finding now. So I can only imagine what's in those other ones.
Well, and here's the cool thing about, I mean, it being a PC game, it's like the mod community. That's part of the reason these games are still alive.
True.
I mean, like they're mod groups that have worked for years for story-driven free content that you can just download in the Steam store. And it's like, oh, cool, this expansion adds 30 hours of gameplay. Cool. And oh, by the way, it's still an Elder Scroll game. So if I want to, I'm just going to walk west and
Right.
fight everything that I see.
Whatever I see, baby, is getting hit.
But obviously, ESO is an MMO. It's a multiplayer game, different from your Skyrims, your Oblivion, stuff like that. And I like the fact that it's like once you do the initial purchase of the game, there's no monthly fee. If you're a PSN subscriber or an Xbox Live subscriber, there's no additional
Yeah, that's
$14.95 a month. If you do want, you can. They call it ESO Plus. It gives you in-game currency. It gives you, I think, a 10% XP boost, and it gives you other bells and whistles. If you do want to do that in lieu of a monthly subscription, you can. You can give it real life money, but you don't have to necessarily, which I like. You do have to make the purchase of the Morrowind expansion. You can't use in-game currency to buy it. Like on some of the other DLCs, you can use, they call crowns. That's in-game currency, and you can buy the DLC. So in theory, well, and if you do ESO Plus, they give you all that DLC as well. But you do have to buy the physical or the code or whatever. It retails $59.99. You can probably find it cheaper on Amazon, or if you're a member of Best Buy's Gamers Club Unlocked, you get like 15% off new games or something. So it's
not too bad.
Yeah, it's a decent system, but. Yeah, Morrowind introduces a new class, introduces a whole new world. One thing we were talking about off mic, it's like you really don't like how in some MMOs you can just be like, I'm going to go from 1 to 100, and using WoW as an example.
Yeah, with real money.
With real money.
Sucks, man.
I do think in Morrowind, it's very similar to the World of Warcraft Wrath of the Lich King expansion, where it introduced the Death Knight character. You can roll this new character, but I don't think it starts you at level 1. It starts you further ahead in the questing log and stuff like that. So I do like that aspect. If you're brand new to this game, you can get Morrowind in addition to ESO, and it drops you right in the middle. It's like, this is what you do. You don't have to go back and break out of, hell or whatever. To get your
whatever
soul
that
back.
was.
Exactly. You don't have to do that again and go talk to the prophet or whatever. I mean, you can literally just go. So I'm excited on that. The girlfriend has already pre-ordered Morrowind. I'm going to probably watch her play it a little bit and then totally buy it because, I mean, I want to play with her. But I'm interested to see what it's going to bring, because I'll be honest, it's like, we got back into ESO this week, and as of last night, I was like, okay, all right, here we go. I'm just running around, gonna go kill skeevers again. I gotta go into this factory and I have to steal or have to pickpocket 10 things out of random dudes. It's like, okay, all right. But I'm curious to see if Morrowind is going to bring more to that, because it's like, I'll admit, it's like a week in, I'm already starting to feel fatigued on it again. So I'm curious to see if there's going to be stuff that, keeps people, from getting burned out. I don't know.
Mediocrity of skills and checks and trying to, like you said, take this letter to grandma something,
Exactly.
and you got to kill 10 scorpions on the way.
And yes, I get it. It's an MMO, and it's like there are going to be quests where it's like,
Sure.
you have to go get 15 boar hides. I mean, that's an MMO. That's
Okay.
what they do. But at
Yeah.
the same time, it's like, I will say the main quest stories, that's intriguing enough to get me to keep playing, but that's just the main quest stories. I mean, like all these other like handout quests that you find on the side of the road, they are going to be the take this letter to Martha in the end, or go fight these 15 bandits.
Right.
And I get it, it's an MMO, but at the same time, it's like I want a little bit more variety in my side quests.
Why didn't you
si-
fight the bandits?
Yeah.
Yeah, side quests get old because it's all familiar, and yeah, you can change whatever baddie it is that I have to kill 10 of, or you could change whatever I have to collect, but it's all kind of the same thing. It does have good main storyline quests. But what you said was exactly my experience with Elder Scrolls. I like playing it, but I do like it typically is like the first couple days I start playing it, I'm really excited about it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, this is so much fun.
I'm gonna do
getting
so
back
much
into
stuff.
It.
Yeah.
And then like 3 or 4 days, I'm like, I guess I'm done for now.
Yeah.
I feel like you have to have an allotment of time to really put into it. Like you can't just pick it up, spend 10 minutes and get some things done.
No,
like
you
10
can't.
minutes
You
is getting
can't.
in.
Yeah, you
You
can't.
know?
It's the same with other MMOs. Like
It is.
I feel that way about Warcraft. You can't sit down if you have 15 minutes and do
Exactly.
anything on Warcraft. Like you need an hour at least.
Oh yeah, the minimum would be an hour. And I think my failure, and this is just a personal failure on my part, is I am a terrible crafter. I don't know how to make anything. Like I even watch YouTube videos. I'm like, I don't know where to get 4 pounds of ore. I don't know where that I don't know. It's like, and people have got like these amazing weapons. Yeah, made it myself. I was like, oh, well, I got this bow. It's cool.
Yeah.
Well, and I will say ESO, I mean, they'll give you like a pop-up. It's like, oh, this is your crafting. What does any of this mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly.
There is not a lot of explanation. It's a lot of, all right, we're going to give you the idea. Go do homework.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you have to, because if you try to like jump in like alchemy, I
God,
have
no.
no idea what I'm
Oh
doing.
my
with
God.
You have
alchemy.
just made garbage potion. Way to go, buddy.
And let's not talk about the fact that you are a walking hoarder, Stan, because you keep everything you have. It's like, well, I may need this,
Right, you
to
have
make
to.
something out, and then you have to go put it in like a chest or something somewhere, and then it's like, where the heck was that place I put all that crap?
But
bank.
by the way, you have a limited inventory space. But hey,
Oh,
you
yeah.
want some more inventory? Buy more inventory. But hey, I'll just go put it in my bank. Oh, well, buddy, your bank's filled up. You want more bank inventory?
Yeah.
Buy more inventory slots. And it's like, okay, there's a reason why every PC Elder Scroll game I play, the first thing I do is turn on the console command and turn off carry limit. That is the first thing I do.
Yeah.
Because it's like, otherwise it's like, crap, I got to go find this one person in this building that every one of them looks alike that happens
Oh
to be
my
a
gosh,
merchant.
that's the worst. Or all the houses are the same, and it's like, oh crap, I don't even remember what the house was. Like you got to write your own treasure maps.
Oh, but speaking on houses in ESO, you can buy your own property ... with crowns.
Right.
So if you want more space to put stuff, you can buy it with crowns too.
And see, that just makes me want to burn people's stuff down. Like I just want to burn down your house.
that feature is not available in
I know,
ESO yet.
I know. And I'm speaking to these people specifically because they are listeners. I was like, I need burn down house as an option.
We are huge with Bethesda and Xenomax.
That's right. and that's another one we'll probably see at E3 is Bethesda's
Yeah,
talk.
I am curious. Yeah, there has to be a Bethesda now.
Oh, absolutely. They release so much stuff.
Yep.
They'll probably talk on the recently released Morrowind, but past that, I mean, it's like they've said they're done with Fallout 4. It's probably way too soon to start talking Fallout 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It seems like all their Elder Scrolls stuff is tied up in the ESO because that's a game that just continues to make money for them that they don't have
oh,
to.
yeah. Why wouldn't you?
Exactly. They don't have to develop a brand new system for.
I can't think of anything
Yeah.
that I was looking forward from them. I'm trying to think of what I had that was Bethesda.
Who did the last Doom? I really liked that. Was that Bethesda?
What do you? I know this is kind of taken back, but what do you guys think about the Blizzard? Do you think they'll jump out with anything besides Overwatch.
There might be some Overwatch announcements.
But you don't think they have anything on the wings of Warcraft or?
I'm not right now aware of anything, but that doesn't mean there's not.
You're not in the know.
Yeah.
We'll probably get some Overwatch stuff. They might tease a new character or a new
Characters.
map. Speaking of Overwatch, we're currently in the 1-year anniversary event going on.
God, has it been a year?
It's been a year.
Holy crap.
And I've gotten in on some of the events. They have, skins like they do for every special event. And it's interesting. They said they don't know if they're going to do any new events this upcoming year because the head developer, I think it was like Jeff Kaplan, said he felt like almost every other week there was a new event for Overwatch, and he didn't want the community to get burned out.
Yeah, it's a little much.
So I think that's interesting, but at the same
It
time,
does burn you out.
I'm a little disappointed because I'm not going to lie. The first time I saw that Dr. Junkenstein's Revenge thing, that was awesome. Yeah. And then when the winter event skins came out, and I saw Torbjorn's skin is Santa Claus with a machine gun, I am all for that. So I'm a little disappointed we're not going to get those cool reveals, but at the same time, I do understand because you don't want Overwatch to burn people out because. If done right, this is a game that Blizzard can just stand by
ride it for a while,
and ride, like you said, for a while.
Yeah. And the thing is, they don't have to reinvent the wheel every time a season comes around. They can reuse events for like that they set up for Halloween, for the Chinese New Year, for, all that stuff. They could reuse them, maybe tweak things every now and then, have something special for each year as far as skins or something like that. But they're... I guess what I'm saying is the events are fun enough as they are, and they don't really need to think about, like, in the interim when they're not in a holiday or a season, let's do maybe 1 or 2 a year, but we don't have to have them every week, and something like that. So
when you talk about events and stuff like that, GTA 5 is constantly doing stuff like that. But it brings me to think about my next thought. Thinking about all their events is the Red Dead Redemption 2 that they've been talking about, and how if you're a GTA 5 guy or not, it's just a busy world. When you go in there online, God knows what's going to happen to you, number one. I can't tell you how many times that I've spawned and a grenade blew me to Kingdom Come. And I can't even get a car.
Fun.
Yeah, I can't get a car out of the garage because somebody is having a massive shootout somewhere. And they have events that are tallied to, taking you off map, and then they have stuff that's consistently on the map. But to put that in kind of a Wild West feel, if they get that done with Red Dead Redemption 2, is going to be insane. Because I can just imagine going from town to town. Because they'll probably, I don't know how they'll do it. Maybe they'll do a big, massive town and you can go out into the desert. But it just seems like this is like where Westworld meets GTA 5, So
the original Red Dead Redemption did have some online multiplayer.
Some stuff. It's not what it is. It's not what they have now. Because four had the same. Seems like GTA 4 kind of had the same kind of stuff, but nothing is to the level that they are right now with GTA.
And GTA Online. It's like I don't think we're going to see a standalone Grand Theft Auto 6 for a long time.
No, because they don't have to.
Exactly, they don't have to. GTA Online is just straight up printing money for Rockstar, and this is a game that they don't have to develop a vastly new system for. They just have to tweak some ones and zeros in the system they already have, and guess what? Hey, money.
No cars, here's horses. And the whole thing with their events and they're definitely a microtransaction kind of thing. It's like, do you want to own 17 tanks? Done.
Yeah.
So
buy the Megalodon card.
Yeah, and they've got some stuff in there. I think we'll see a Rockstar announcement with maybe Red Dead Redemption 2. So.
Well, Red Dead Redemption 2 just had the announcement that it's being delayed to 2018.
I know.
So I'm curious if we're going to get a release date for 2018 or if it's just going to be spring 2018.
Yeah. Which is fine. I'm glad some of these developers are pumping the brakes a little bit and getting some development behind things. We're going to get a new look at the Assassin's Creed, which delayed a year. Instead of they've been busting it out every year.
Yeah, that was a yearly franchise.
Yeah, and now they're like, we're not going to kind of do that.
And I'm excited for that because it almost lets the team breathe and be like, okay, what can we do different?
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. It's not a recycling of mechanics and so.
Yeah, you got to give your team space to come up with ideas and not just be working all the time.
Yeah, I know we want, but I feel comfortable with and on top of that, it gives you as a gamer some time to play some freaking other games.
Exactly, yeah. It's like, I like Far Cry, but it feels like every 4 weeks there's a new Far Cry game. It's like, oh, God.
It seems like 4 just came out. I swear
and there's already been Primal that's come out in between, and they just announced Far Cry 5, which While we're
Looks
talking
crazy.
on games, have y'all seen the trailer for that?
It's crazy. It's as crazy as 4 was.
But it's being set in America
Oh,
with
Nebraska.
no Montana.
Oh, sorry, Montana.
Yeah, so I'm curious, and there are already some groups that are very pissed off that this game is coming out. So
Well, it probably exposes them. I'm just kidding.
I'll be honest. When I first heard that Far Cry 5 is going to cover a cult/militia in Montana, my first thought was the Clapham Bundy
Yeah.
stuff with his militia. Mm-hmm. So once again, real life is being drawn into your entertainment.
Yep. That's what happens.
Just saying.
Art imitating.
Imitating.
Art-
Hashtag imitating.
Art imitating life,
God almighty.
which imitates art.
Imitates art. When art.
Comics imitating movies, imitating comics.
But yeah, that's my whole big long rambling hot and streaming.
Okay.
On streaming gaming.
And there it was.
So that takes us out of that segment. I don't really have a premium, so I don't really have anything to gripe about, which is a big surprise, I imagine, for most. I have some theories, but I don't want to release them yet. They're still baking.
Okay.
So we are going to move straight on to the debate.
Yep.
And this week's debate, we kind of teased a little bit on Tuesday's show. We're talking about the Jason or Friday the 13th game. Big franchise getting a big kickoff in the video game world, which, I mean, we had Friday the 13th on Nintendo, I do believe, and stuff
And
like
the
that.
Friday the 13th game on Nintendo was the drizzling edit. Yeah. That game sucked.
It did suck. But, I mean, it was 8-bit at its worst.
Hey, counselor, you're going to kill Jason. Here's a rock. Go nuts.
Yeah, because that happened in the movie. But let's think about the witch hunt that went with games then too. So, but that gets us to what we're going to debate on here, which was a very long road. We were thinking, and I think we're going to look at, as Justin mentioned Tuesday, I'm going to pick your best franchise you'd like to see developed into a game.
Into a specifically an
Specific
MMO.
MMO. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I was getting
Oh,
there.
sorry.
God, Dad.
Just trying to help.
Can I ask a question for clarification? You say MMO. Does it have to be an MMO RPG or could it be an MMO first-person shooter?
Yep. First,
Yeah.
yeah, MMO style, and I'm thinking in the style of the Friday the 13th game. So you're getting like game sessions. You put
Okay.
a group, you get in, and then it's a game session.
Yeah, exactly. So you thinking on that, what franchise do you want to see spiraled into gamedom? Even if they have a game, it's cool. Nothing has an MMO really at all. So I would imagine it would have.
So all right, cool.
So
I'll go first this time.
you got one?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll start us off. So I was thinking about this. I had a couple thoughts, and the one that keeps coming back to my mind that I think would be a lot of fun would be a Terminator style MMO.
That's cool. That's
so
cool.
like one guy gets to be, and I'm thinking from the style of the original Terminator.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So one guy gets to be Arnie. You're
Yeah.
walking around looking for John Connor. But everybody, like, you're basically either trying to help hide John Connor or you're trying to take down the Terminator or slow him down or whatever. And he's
Does somebody get to be John
but
Connor?
you know what would be really cool? Here's what I'm thinking would be a nice twist on this game. If you get taken out, you just get thrown back in. You're just bodies.
Okay.
Because
Meat
the way
grinder.
and the whole point would be, does he find John Connor or does he not?
Mm-hmm.
And like if he does, then the crowd. If he does, then Terminator wins. If he doesn't, the crowd wins, right? And it's
Right.
just kind of back and forth, and it'd be random who gets to be Terminator and who gets to be John. and
Interesting.
I think that would be kind
That's
of a,
cool, man.
a
That would be fun.
session game.
I think expanding to help you out a little bit here, it'd be cool to be different Terminators.
Yeah,
different skins, move around, different maps.
You could be maybe the Liquid Terminator.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
different Terminators have different abilities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Old
that would be
Arnie, new Arnie,
That could be
really
cool.
old Arnie.
Arnie peddling that mobile game that we all see.
Oh, he's always walking around with a cell phone while he's shooting at you.
It's like, look up, dude. We're right in front of you.
Mobile assault or something.
Yeah,
like that, I
mobile
think.
assault.
Yeah.
There it is. Mobile assault. Give us money.
So that's pretty good. You got anything else?
No,
you
that's
wanna-
that's my thing. I'm gonna go Terminator. I feel like that's a franchise that could carry us into.
That's a good one.
An MMO.
It is.
That's a good one. I really like that.
Yep.
I'll go ahead with mine, staying very similar in the vein of what Friday the 13th the game did for the movie. I'm going to say Aliens.
Ooh,
That was in my
one of
mind.
my options.
That
Yeah.
was one in my mind.
A little bit of Friday the 13th the game, but instead of just like one versus all, do a little Left 4
Yeah,
Dead
yeah.
like PvP. Because if you ever played the original Left 4 Dead, yeah, you controlled a mindless zombie, but at one point you'll respawn and you're a boomer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you'll respawn and you're a smoker. So in this Alien movie, it's like, you can respawn as a face hugger.
Yeah.
You can respawn as the
Oh,
xenomorph,
man.
like different types of aliens that we've seen throughout the the franchise. And it's like if you're a face hugger and you go
And you get somebody, you get to be a chest buster and then
Exactly.
escape somewhere to grow.
And the further you can go as a character, the stronger you get. But then on
Holy
the flip
crap.
side, if you're a survivor or a human, you can be cast members from the movie. You
Yeah.
can be Ripley with this type of ability, or you can be like.
Well, the longer you survive, the better your guns get.
Exactly.
The better the more armament.
or on
you're
the
gonna-
flip side, the longer you go, the worse your guns get.
Oh,
The
no.
more you use
Oh,
them,
yeah.
Oh,
then
true.
it really
Start you out
turns-
high and let you fall low.
Then it really turns into that feeling that you
Oh,
get
yeah.
in the original Alien movies. It's like and
Resources are getting low.
and you have your little radar with all the noises, and you can see where they're coming from. You would get the people that did Alien Isolation,
like
that
that.
video
Yes.
game. You would get them to recreate that atmosphere because they nailed it with that Alien. The game itself was kind of meh, but it's like the feeling of when you're being hunted by the xenomorph and you know there's nothing you can do. I loved that feeling
Yeah.
that it could just end you.
I like that
like
one.
as a split second. I think that would be cool.
That's
That'd be cool. I feel like you should, as resources run low with guns and stuff, like your environment becomes more of your tools. Like
Yeah, and
you
you
can
can
get
do
a big cargo lifter and go after them until they tear it apart.
Exactly.
You can space them maybe. You know, if you can get them near a door, it's like I got you.
Well, and just like in Friday the 13th,
Yeah.
there are objectives where you can kill Jason. Like you can shoot him in the face with a flare gun. Like if you hit him in the eye, I think he dies or something. But it's like you said, you could be in situations where if you can lure the xenomorph
Yeah.
into this room, you can lock the door and
Trap 'em.
then space it. Or you could jerry rig some sort of explosion to take
Yeah.
it
Or get to an escape pod. You
Exactly.
know? Yeah, you can't, like, if you end up being the last one, you can try to be, like, the element is, your last survivor, escape pod. Mm-hmm. So that's where you're at.
That could be cool.
That's cool, man. I like that. You guys come with some serious A games on this one because I feel like I'm going to run short with this one altogether. I like a lot of buddy banter, and I feel like if we had a Starship Troopers MMO, I feel like you could have a team.
Yeah.
You could probably, I can guarantee you could probably get all the cast voices because I don't see those people really turning those roles down, and have a lot of banter between them. And you're going after the bugs, and the bugs are other people. And you could have a team on team kind of thing. You're a brain bug, which means you command little legions, and then everybody else is like commanders of little bug legions that come after them. So it's like an attrition thing on the bug side. But when you're on the other side, it's like an ammo thing. It's like how many times, how much ammo can I run through? So
That's cool.
I think that'd be fun. And then maybe take it a little higher and do space battles where
Yeah.
you're on the ground and you got little bugs shooting their butt juice into the air, and you've got to maneuver cargo ships through a certain area. Different maps, different objectives. So I think that'd be fun, and a lot of banter.
Yeah, that would be a fun one.
And of all the games that were pitched, yours is the only one that I think could do both land and air combat as well.
Yeah.
Just very good transition too.
Yeah, it'd be good, and you can build stories off it. I think they had. I know it's a very thin line with saying franchise with Starship Troopers. They only had 3 movies, and I don't know that anybody's ever seen the other 2. But
I haven't.
I think I watched some of 2 and I fell asleep. I think, but 1 was one of my favorites. Still is one of my favorites, and I think that'd be a fun MMO to play around with, and it'd be cheap.
Yeah, that's true. You can probably get the rights pretty easy.
I can get the rights right now. But yeah,
There you go. Start a Kickstarter. You never know. You might be
yeah.
sitting on a gold
I just
mine
need
right
like
here.
people who like develop games and people
Well,
who like know how to handle money.
But see-
Wait,
I know how to handle money, just not well.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
It feels good in my hand.
That's right. I need you to put
I
this
like
in a bag
money.
and not tell me which bag it is.
I was thinking this won't be my option, but another one I thought would be cool would be like a G.I. Joe, where you could have Cobra
God! Don't
versus
even get me
G.I. Joe.
started. I have thought
That'd be
about a
fun.
GI Joe game for the longest time, but I don't know what I would want. I don't know if I would want third person, first person, more of a tactical because you talk about MMO. That would definitely be, I think, would be something to kind of be an ESO type of game
Yeah.
where you build your commander. The best part of that game would be trying to have a war and you not hit anyone. Like everything always ends up in fist combat. Like you're shooting everybody and they don't go down, and you end up in fist combat.
Yeah.
So I think that would be fun.
It's like I got this epic gun. I mean, it doesn't hit anything, but I got it.
But think about all the classes with that. I mean, I've always wondered what could be done with that, but I know the property would be ridiculous to try to get a hold of. But you'd have like your ninja class, and you'd have like your commander class with Duke and Flint, and you would have like your heavy lifters and big chain gun guys.
And you could have your
More of an Overwatch.
Whoa.
Whoa! I got excited, guys.
Mic drop.
Then mic drop.
You could have vehicles
Overwatch.
too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. Don't even get me started on the vehicles.
Yeah.
Or heck, I mean, Hasbro owns the G.I. Joe toys. If you want to keep it, do it like the toys. Just borrow from other Hasbro properties.
Crap. Holy crap. Here's even better. You said that. Keep it in a toy world. Toy store that crap to death. It's like you've got these objectives to get to Billy's room, and you're in the living room. You
That'd
know,
be cool.
That might be an interesting
insane.
take. And then Toy Story would sue your ass.
Exactly. Yeah, Disney Pixar.
Hey,
like, oh,
hey! I have
give us some
heard.
money, damn it.
I have heard. Hey, if they can make a movie from it, well, they made a movie from it, but they didn't put G.I. Joe in there. They can do G.I. Joe.
Didn't they have Duke?
I think Duke was in there.
Was
yeah.
Duke in there
Yeah.
officially?
I don't know if he was officially a G.I. Joe, but
It
they
was
did call
like
him Duke.
a strong enough reference
Yeah.
that you knew what it was.
Was it Channing Tatum?
Yes, actually it was. No.
Was The Rock in it?
Yes, him too.
I think he.
It was
ruined-
all your favorite dead celebrities. They were in that movie too.
I'm going to pin the ruining
were
of
just
that movie franchise on The Rock. Not that it was any good to begin with, but I feel like he just ruined it.
What franchise is this?
The G.I. Joe.
the G.I. Joe
Oh.
movie? French.
Yeah, that franchise wasn't any good before he showed up.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Then he just poo-pooed all over it.
He
It
did
was-
rock things.
Bringing him was like a last ditch effort to try to get it moving.
Yeah,
It just
it did not help
didn't
him.
work.
So
So you can pretty much drop the Rock in a universe and it works. I mean, look at Baywatch. Right? Am I right?
Cricket, cricket, cricket.
I think Zac Efron makes that one. Yeah, but definitely, yeah, I would be all over a G.I. Joe game. I would be all over it.
Yep. So now we will put it.
You
to
should have
the-
went with that one.
We're gonna. Nah. I like
that
my
one. That one's
Terminator.
a home run. I'm going to tell you right now. I would vote for it. I would be like, "Are you going to vote for?" Heck no, I'm not going to vote for myself. What G.I. Joe had?
That's all right. I'll stand by my Terminator choice.
Terminator's
I think
cool
it'd be
though. I feel like Terminator's
that would be
in the
fun.
line of what we were just.
Plus, it would be cool as the game starts. You know, you're like the fully fleshed out Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh,
and
as
then
it
you get
blows
bit-
pizza
Yeah,
off.
that
Oh,
could be
Cool.
man.
I mean, it would have to be an
It becomes
M-rated
damage.
game, but I mean, that would be really cool.
Yeah.
It would
so-
be, you could loincloth him. You could Conan him.
Well, based on this last Conan game, apparently the genitalia graphics were on point.
Oh dear, Krogan bone.
Yeah, there might have actually been some Krogan boners in that game.
So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That would be. I think that would be good. Definitely the Aliens one.
Yeah.
I already had that in my mind.
Aliens
I
was one of my choices too.
I was
but-
almost like I have to go first because one of these ding dongs is going to steal
Well,
my
I let it
answer.
go. Yeah, I was letting it go. But I mean, with all of the ones we talk about, it's so cool that you could think about that you could upgrade all these people.
Yeah.
You know, in Alien, you can upgrade your Ripley character. In Terminator, you can upgrade the Terminator, or you know,
Or your John Connor.
your John
Sarah
Connor. You know, what'd be cool? I was thinking in the Aliens one is to have like some stupid thing in there, like if you're getting into trouble at some point, you can call for help, and it's like a predator shows up and like takes out 2 or 3 of the aliens. Xenomorphs like just starts taking them out.
Oh, there'd definitely be DLC that introduced the Predator. at
Oh,
some point.
absolutely.
Oh, and then staying on that, and I guess staying on the Terminator as well, there were some movies that weren't exactly great for the franchise.
Yeah.
So what would you consider cool for the game, and what would you consider not cool for the game?
I'm limiting mine to T2.
Okay,
That's as
all
far
right.
as it
T2?
goes.
Yeah.
T2's cool.
Yeah, mine too. Alien and Aliens.
Yeah.
I would go all 3 with whatever they. I don't even know they have anything more to offer. As long as they have Casper Van Dien, I think that's his name, that does the number one guy's voice, and he's like, "Do you want to live forever?" No, I don't, Casper Van Dien. And then they get I can't remember the ball guy's name that was in there. That was his sergeant or whatever.
You've seen them and
Ironside.
stuff. Yeah,
Is it Michael Ironside?
Yeah.
Michael Ironside. And they would have to get him, and then if they want to get Doogie Howser, you know, it's hit or miss on that.
Yeah,
He could drop your mission requests in.
And plus, NPH has an actual career, so you know.
Yeah, he does.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But I think he would. He seems like a nice. He does Heineken commercials for God's sakes.
That is
So I
true.
don't see him stepping away from something like that. It's like
Heineken, give us stuff.
Heineken give us stuff. So I think we covered it all.
Yeah. Well, so what we need to do is we'll put the poll out there and let the people decide. And so it'll be
There are no write-ins.
on our Twitter, at nerd_news_cafe. If you want to be eligible to win a free digital comic this week, it will be Monsters Unleashed #1. And we'll put it out there. And you need to retweet, you need to vote, and you need to be following us. And make sure you retweet the original poll because if you retweet Landon, Matt, or me, it doesn't count.
Don't
Does
count.
not count.
We're just retweeting it so you see it. But go back to the original retweet vote. I want to say we put out the call last week and you all responded.
Holy crap.
61.
I was about to say, we're going to
Nicely
have to
done.
give away for last week because that right there is phenomenal.
Yeah, 61 votes. So
Appreciate that from
that's
everybody
awesome.
who participated, even though you didn't vote for me.
For once.
Here's how it played out. We went Sigourney Weaver, Alien, got 43% of the vote. Uma Thurman, Kill Bill, 48%. And Gina Torres, I should have put
So
Serenity
close.
since we were staying in the film. It should have been
Yeah.
Serenity, but I put Firefly.
It's okay.
10%.
And
So
see, that's why I lost, because Jay mislabeled it. And
Well,
also,
but people-
Russians hacked in.
people know Firefly. they definitely, they're like, Uma Thurman.
Well,
We-
and
we
honestly,
can
the
vote
thing
for
is,
her.
like, I wouldn't have voted for myself, and it's like I came in with some ideas, and it's like I don't know how I ended up on Gina Torres. I could have gone Samus from Metroid. I could have gone freaking Veronica Mars from Veronica
Samus with
Mars.
Metroid? Man, that would have been strong.
I could have gone Hermione from Harry Potter.
Oh, true.
Instead, I go Zoe Washburn.
I want to give a shout out to Eric Lehman because he kind of did a mic drop on us. He said one of us should have said Kate Beckinsale.
Oh, no. Absolutely.
from Underworld.
As
That's
soon as I
strong.
read it, I was like,
That's strong.
So that would have been a strong one too.
Yeah.
But I will say we weren't taking write-ins, so that doesn't count.
That doesn't
No, but shout out, that was a good call.
But if you want to vote for him and in favor of his tweet, hey, we'll
I was actually going to say, like, definitely vote in the polls, obviously. But if you think we missed something,
Oh, absolutely.
let us know. Just
call us out. I mean,
just like
that was a perfect example of hey, guys, where's your head? Let
It's
me
one
tell you
of
where
those-
mine was.
Oh yeah. It's one of those. Yeah, how did we all miss that?
Oh, well, it was an oversight, but I think we had some good options.
Oh,
so.
yeah.
All right, so I'm going to use our traditional random number generator to select a winner. We have 7 eligible people for the comic this time, which we decided was going to be I Am Groot #1. So let me go to my Googs. 1 to 7 generate. The winner will be. I got to get back to my list. The winner this time is actually, hey, it's a new one. Robert Howder.
There
So
you go.
that's
There you go.
Congrats, Robert.
at Captain Wanta. This is actually a longtime friend of mine, known him forever. So congratulations, Robert. Thanks for the retweet and the voting. And you yourself will be getting an digital version of I Am Groot #1. And like you said, I think it comes with like an additional one. I wanted
That's
to
something Marvel Comics has done recently. I've noticed they made a big deal that they were returning digital comics to those issues. So same comic, same code. And part of their big push is they're giving you an additional comic. I know in past it's been the all-new Wolverine, which stars X-23
Oh,
as
yeah,
Wolverine. I think in the last one we gave away, it was something focusing on Miles Morales as Spider-Man. So what did they get in addition to I Am Groot #1 this week?
This week you will be getting additionally Doctor Strange and the Sorcerer Supreme Volume 1.
There you go. All
and,
right.
and we haven't even talked about anything with Doctor Strange or Doctor Strange related.
The last thing we talked about was that coming to Netflix.
Yeah.
So there you go. Congratulations. Thanks for participating. We'll put the poll out sometime after lunch on Thursday. This time,
food settle.
they've made it to where I can do it instead of just doing days at a time. You can do days plus hours. So this last time I did 36 hours.
Yeah, I really appreciated you leaving that up 36 hours while I just get destroyed. It made me feel great. I blame the Russians.
Putin does not like your choice.
So anyway, I feel like a little more time is good. Get people in there, and it did garner us a large response. So thank you. I just want to say again, a tremendous thank you to those people that did vote and participate, and do it again one more time. But that's it. That's all I got. We should just close.
I'm
done. Bye.
Sorry.
Bye,
Sucks.
everybody.
Sucks to be you.
We just need to do a podcast where we stop mid-sentence. Just, yeah, and that was... and they'll look at their phone. What the fuck happened? Yeah.
So as we said, we've got Twitter. People can interact with us. But how about some other options?
Well, they can hit us up on the website, which is nerdnewscafe.com. You can hit us up on email, which is nerdnewscafe@gmail.com. You can also find us on Facebook. We are there hanging out, looking at you. You can drop us anything you want there. You can also reach us on YouTube, which we publish those episodes out to. And we'll have some more content coming soon. I think Justin's going to work on that, our editor-in-chief and dad and the guy who really does all the work. So
Yeah, Matt and I just show up and look
we
good.
literally just show up. Some of us don't show up without pants, Landon.
Hey, that was one time.
One time, and then you took them off another time, so I count them both.
Well, you know what? Some of us just like to talk about the no pants poll. Some of us like to live the no pants poll.
No
Landon
pants
is
pole life.
fully immersive in
For
our
life.
Just remember, any hashtag he says, fully immersive in it. So be
Exactly.
careful of what you say. I think that about covers everything we scope out in the virtual universe.
Yep.
So
That'll do it.
All right, for Matt Weaver and Justin Krutzinger, I am Landon Doan, thanking you for joining us on another episode of Nerd News Cafe Stir It Up. We've been Nerd News. You've been great. Good night. Or do I do it? You've been great. We've been Nerd News. Good night.
It works either
It
way.
doesn't. Fart noises.